Hi everyone, it's that time of year again. It's the build up to Christmas. The shops are full of cards and gifts and decorations, and lots of people are going to start spending lots of money. So for the past few years, Christmas cards in this style have been quite popular on the high street. So I'm looking at a card that it doesn't have any layers, it doesn't have any particular embellishments added to it. It's just a plain white background with an image and a sentiment. So let's have a look at what some of the high street stores are charging for their cards.
We're on the White Company's website and we've got a pack of 12 Christmas cards for £12, so £1 each. And you can see they've got a plain white background, a sentiment and a simple design. John Lewis, plain white background, simple design, no sentiment here. 10 cards for £5. It's still 50p each, it's a lot better than £1 each. And these cards, these are £18.50 for 10. That's £1.85 for 10 cards, all the same, plain white background, simple drawing and a sentiment. These ones, 4 cards in a pack, £6 and £1.50 delivery. Another card with a plain white background, simple drawing, sentiment, £26 for 10 cards plus £2.50 delivery. I know that these cards have got gold foiling, but with machines like the Todo and the Scan and Cut, you can achieve foiling at home. You can also use glue and cold foil transfer to foil your cards, and yes, they can be personalised, but you're making these cards yourself at home. You can personalise them to say whatever you like. So our market research has shown us that plain white cards with a simple drawing, not a lot of colour, are clearly very popular and can command very, very high prices. So I'm going to show you how you can make your own cards for a fraction of this price.
So hopefully these cards are going to work out a little bit less expensive than the last example in that footage. So what I've got is I've got some rubber stamps, a card blank, an ink pad, some felt tips, a palette, a paintbrush, a little bit of water, and that's all you need to make your own Christmas cards. But I'm going to do some heat embossing on mine, so I've also got an anti-static bag, some clear embossing powder and my heat tool. If you're not heat embossing, make sure you use an ink that is not water based, otherwise your paint and your ink from your stamp is going to run. So a stamp press is your best friend when it comes to batch making, because you position your stamps in the press and then you just take the card blanks out each time, and every time you stamp your image is going to be in the same place every time. So I've got my 2 stamps here. I've got my sentiment and my image. Because we're heat embossing, I'm just going to rub my anti-static bag over the card blank. I'm going to ink up and just close the stamp press. You can see that the image is stamped on there nicely. If we had any issues, because we're using the stamp press, we could just re-ink and stamp again and we've not wasted a card blank. So I'm just going to take this out and put my stamping press to one side. I've got some scrap paper here and my embossing powder. So all I'm going to do is just sprinkle embossing powder where I've stamped, tap the excess off onto the scrap paper and put my embossing powder back in the pot for another day. And now I'm going to use the heat tool to heat the embossing powder. So now the embossing powder's melted. I don't know if it shows up on the camera, but it's gone kind of shiny and it is a little bit raised. So now if we paint onto this with water-based paint, the ink isn't going to go anywhere. Okay, so now I've got a plastic paint palette here, and all I've done is I've just scribbled onto the plastic with my felt pens. We've got some water and we've got paintbrush. So all I'm going to do is just wet my paintbrush and dab it in the ink, and then I can watercolour my card without having to have bought lots of expensive paints. If you're enjoying this video, make sure you give us a like, and you can subscribe to our channel for more crafty projects. You can visit georgecrafts.co.uk for more crafting tutorials and some of my crafty ramblings. And if you want to buy any of my multi-packs of Christmas cards, I will put a link to the Folksy shop underneath the video. So, just about finished with the painting. Just clean off my brush and put that to one side. And then what I'm going to do just to finish this off is just add a little bit of glitter. So I'm just going to test my glue pen to make sure that the glue is flowing, which it is. And then wherever I want to put glitter, I'm going to add a little bit of glue. And then sprinkle a little bit of this Nouveau Pure Sheen glitter. And then tap the excess off. Pour this back in the pot for another day. Put the lid on so I don't throw it everywhere, which I will. And then you can see the glitter on the card. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope you're going to have a go at making your own Christmas cards. But please, don't spend £26 on 10 cards.